What's going on, Cowboys Nation? Today, we're diving deep into some truly heartbreaking and urgent news that has shaken the heart of Dallas and Cowboys fans everywhere. After a surprising and painful loss against the Chicago Bears, the biggest story that emerged isn't just about the scoreboard, it's about one of the Cowboys' brightest stars, CeeDee Lamb. Early in the game, Lamb suffered a serious injury that forced him off the field, and as the hours and days have gone by, the rumors, speculation, and fears surrounding the nature and severity of his injury have only intensified. Fans are devastated. Analysts are scrambling to adjust their projections. And the entire Cowboys organization now faces a crossroads that could define their entire season. So today, I'm breaking down everything we know, everything we're hearing, and everything you need to know about what this injury means for Lamb, for the Cowboys, and for the playoff hopes of this iconic franchise. To understand how big this moment is, let's rewind a bit and talk about what happened in that game. The Cowboys, coming off a solid start, faced the Bears in a game many expected Dallas to handle comfortably. But from the opening whistle, things didn't go as planned. The Bears came out aggressive, playing with a chip on their shoulder, and quickly turned the game into a defensive battle. What made matters worse for Dallas was losing the explosive playmaker CeeDee Lamb in the first half. On a crucial offensive possession, Lamb was involved in a play where he was tackled awkwardly by a Bears linebacker. The moment he hit the turf, you could see the pain in his face. His left ankle took a nasty twist, a type of injury known to be tricky and slow to heal, especially for athletes who rely on speed, agility, and quick cuts like Lamb does. Despite attempts to stay in the game, it became clear that he simply could not continue. The injury forced him to the sidelines, and without their top receiver, the Cowboys' offense stalled, leading to turnovers, missed opportunities, and eventually a humiliating 31-14 loss. The loss alone was painful, but the injury to Lamb added a whole new layer of crisis. Now, the immediate question on everyone's mind is, what exactly is wrong with CeeDee Lamb? While the Cowboys and their medical team have been cautious with details, early reports suggest that Lamb suffered a high ankle sprain, a specific type of injury that involves the ligaments connecting the tibia and fibula bones above the ankle joint. Unlike a typical ankle sprain, this injury can be much more severe and often requires a longer recovery time because it affects the stability of the ankle in ways that make returning to full speed tricky. For a player like Lamb, who thrives on his ability to accelerate, change direction in a flash, and make sharp cuts to evade defenders, a high ankle sprain can be especially debilitating. The challenge with these injuries is that even when a player returns, they often have to deal with lingering soreness, instability, and a mental barrier of trusting the ankle again. While some athletes bounce back in a few weeks, others can struggle for months, and any misstep in recovery can lead to re-injury. This is why the rumors swirling around are so intense. Some insiders suggest that Lamb could be sidelined for 3 to 4 weeks, which in the NFL is a long time, especially in the early part of the season when every game counts. Others are whispering about the worst-case scenarios. What if this injury keeps Lamb out for the rest of the season? What if the Cowboys need to place him on injured reserve, which would mandate a minimum absence of several weeks and potentially disrupt the entire offensive rhythm? Some fans are already fearing that this could derail Dallas's hopes for a playoff run, especially given how competitive the NFC East has become. There's also speculation around the locker room dynamics and front office decision-making. If Lamb is out for an extended period, questions arise about whether the Cowboys might look to shake up their roster, trade for additional weapons, or even whether contract negotiations and player morale could be affected by this injury's fallout. But beyond the medical and strategic implications, what's really striking is the emotional impact on the fan base and the team. Lamb has become a fan favorite, not just because of his incredible talent, but because of his work ethic, leadership, and the exciting style of play he brings every time he steps on the field. Fans took to social media in droves, expressing their heartbreak, sharing clips of his injury, and praying for his recovery. The pain was palpable. It's hard to watch a beloved player go down and not wonder what the team will look like without him. For the Cowboys, losing a star like Lamb doesn't just affect the passing game, it shakes the confidence and morale of the entire offense. When your primary weapon is sidelined, the entire game plan must change, and the burden falls on other players to step up and fill the void. So who exactly is going to step up? That's the million-dollar question. George Pickens, the Cowboys' big-bodied wide receiver acquisition this offseason, will likely become the primary target moving forward. Pickens has shown flashes of brilliance, but he's also still developing consistency at the NFL level. In the game against the Bears, he had a solid performance but also showed signs of frustration after a few drops and a tough matchup. With Lamb out, Pickens will face more attention from opposing defenses, and teams will likely double or even triple team him to try to take away Dallas's best remaining threat. The Cowboys will also look to players like Jake Ferguson, their tight end, to become more involved in the passing game. Tight ends can be vital in short and intermediate routes, helping move chains and providing reliable hands when wide receivers are being blanketed. The Cowboys may also increase their reliance on their running backs, leaning into a more balanced or run-heavy attack to take pressure off the passing game. But this is a delicate balancing act because the offensive line has been dealing with injuries of its own, thinning out the protection for quarterback Dak Prescott and making sustained drives harder to come by. The pressure is now mounting on Dak Prescott, too. Without Lamb to stretch the field and create space, Prescott's windows to throw get tighter, and he faces more pressure from defensive pass rushers who can blitz more aggressively. If the offensive line can't hold up, this could become a long, frustrating season for the Cowboys' signal caller. Additionally, the coaching staff faces immense pressure to adjust the playbook, creatively introducing new schemes, more motion, screens, and quick passes to try to maintain offensive efficiency. The ability of the coaching staff to pivot quickly and effectively could make or break the Cowboys' season. From a broader perspective, this injury isn't just a blow to one player, it threatens the entire season's outlook for Dallas. The NFC East is one of the most competitive divisions in football, and a couple of losses now could have ripple effects on playoff seeding or even postseason qualification. The Cowboys were seen as contenders this year, partly because of Lamb's presence, which elevates the entire offense. Without him, they are suddenly vulnerable, and division rivals will smell blood. This situation could prompt management to rethink their roster strategy, perhaps pushing for mid-season trades, seeking free agent reinforcements, or accelerating the development of younger players. Looking at the timeline ahead, much depends on how Lamb's ankle responds to treatment and rehab. The Cowboys' medical team and trainers will likely have him on a very strict protocol, focusing on reducing inflammation, regaining range of motion, and gradually increasing load on the ankle. The next MRI results will be crucial in determining if there is ligament tearing or other complications that could extend his absence. Fans will be watching closely for every practice report and medical update, hoping for signs that Lamb is progressing well. But even if he returns, there's always the question of whether he can regain his pre-injury explosiveness. Many athletes return too soon and suffer lingering issues or even re-injuries, which could limit his effectiveness for the rest of the season. In the meantime, the Cowboys must rally together as a team. Injuries are part of the brutal reality of football, and teams that survive often do so because of their depth, resilience, and leadership. It's a moment for other players to rise up and prove they can carry the load. But it's also a test of the coaching staff's ability to adapt and inspire. The psychological toll of losing a star player can't be underestimated. It can either galvanize a locker room or fracture it. For the fans watching at home, this is a moment to stay hopeful but realistic. It's natural to be worried and to fear the worst, but the season is long, and there's still time to recover and fight back. CeeDee Lamb is young, talented, and driven, and with the right care and support, there's every chance he'll come back stronger. But Dallas must prepare for the possibility of a few tough weeks ahead without him on the field. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think? How long will Lamb be out? Who steps up in his absence? And how will the team adjust to what feels like an uphill battle? Let me know in the comments below. This story is far from over, and I'll be here tracking every update, rumor, and development so you don't miss a thing. If you found this deep dive helpful and want to stay connected to all the latest Cowboys news, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're the first to know. Until next time, stay strong and ride with me through this storm, because being a Cowboys fan means never giving up, even when the